I'm excited to show you exactly how I generate six figures in deals every single year with just 1 hour a month of work. Okay, this business model allows me to go to the beach whenever I want, work when I want, how I want, with who I want, and it really allows me to live my life the way my vision is intended for it to be lived. So I hope by the end of this course, you guys have the skills and the mindset that you need to be able to have a business that serves you and isn't keeping you in the grind forever and ever and ever. So excited to share this course with you, and without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, let's get into it. The 1 hour deals business, how to generate six figures in deals every single year with just 1 hour a month of work. You don't believe me? Let me prove it to you right here. So, who am I? My name is Tim Oppelt. I've been wholesaling since 2015. There's my Delaware wholesaling website. I do real deals. I work with real sellers. I know the business. I still do it today. I started an agency in 2019 to do my online marketing, Google Ads business for other investors all across the country. I started a podcast in 2021 of last year, and now I have the new 1 hour deals program, which is a culmination of everything I've learned throughout this time, and I'm excited to offer it to you today for free. Let's get into it. So this is the best deal I ever did in my wholesaling business while I was doing it full time. Okay, this is the actual image of the email blast sent out to my buyers. We got it under contract for $102,500 and ended up finding a buyer for $145,000. That's a $42,000 assignment. Okay, it's the best deal I ever did at the time. And you know what? I would never ever do this deal ever again. Let me explain. This is my new 1 hour per month business model that I've been doing for a couple years now. Here's how it works. I use Google, pay-per-click, and SEO to generate my leads. They're the highest quality leads that you're going to get in the business. And then I have a sales partner who handles all of the upfront lead management, acquisitions, dispositions work. Okay? And the great thing about this is you can do it anywhere in the country instantly. Okay? Basically, that's it. Google Ads personally is my favorite marketing for these types of partnerships and for this business model. If you're not sure what it is, take a look at the screenshot here on the left side. So when someone, a motivated seller, types in, we buy houses or cash for my home, something like that, the top spots are all the ads, right? And basically what you're doing is you're bidding against your local competition to hit these top spots. So when people click on them, basically you pay Google. That's why it's called pay-per-click. So they click on the ad, it goes to your website, they fill out their information, then they call you and you do business. Right? On the back end side of things, the screenshot on the left side here is basically, we're not going to go into it right this second, but is where you bid on your keywords and where all the back end operations work. The thing that really makes the most sense about this is you can plug and play this in any business, whether you're doing cold calling, marketing, you're just getting started. Google Ads, you can start tomorrow and start getting leads the very next day. You can track the leads, so if you're using a partner, basically you can see where all the leads are coming in through the web form, and you can keep tabs on what happens to them, if they get sold and whatnot. You can start in any market. They're the highest quality leads that you're going to get, and the best thing is you own the system, not your partner. Okay, you own the system, not your partner. So if your partner flakes out or something happens to him or he quits the business, you can find someone else to do it with, and it's completely in your control. So this is a property I just did a couple months ago. Okay, it was inherited, the property, the renter in there wasn't paying, and they refused to move out, right? Not the most uncommon type of thing. We closed it. I took home almost $40,000. Okay, crazy thing is, I didn't do a single freaking thing on this deal. I don't know how many beds and bath it is. I never talked to the sellers. I never went to the home. I never negotiated with anybody. I kid you not, literally did nothing. The only thing I did was take the check to the bank. That is literally it. It is crazy. Busy Betty, another person who started working with us the other year, she was a new wholesaler working 2 full-time jobs and didn't have much money to get started. With our system, she closed 5 deals, okay, 5 deals in the first 3 months of our system, and only needed a handful of leads per week. Okay, most marketing channels out there could not allow someone with 2 full-time jobs with a very small budget to become successful. But here we are. Vance started working with us December 2019 while I was a full-time engineer. He got a couple deals right off the bat. His campaign slowed down, but he stuck with us and he ended up that year netting over $130,000. He ended up quitting his job the following spring, and then this past year, he net almost $100,000 as well. Okay, so this could be your business if you're working a full-time job. There's a pic he sent of us just the other week of how much money he was making. So Ray Kroc here, McDonald's. They're actually not, McDonald's is not technically in the food business. They're in the real estate business. If you haven't seen The Founder with Michael Keaton, check it out. It's a great movie. They go into it a little bit. But the point is, there's two schools of philosophy with wholesaling. Are you a sales business or are you a marketing business? Let me explain. So on the left side here is a Tim marketing business. I hate being on the phone. Okay, I outsource my lead management. If I'm not doing the phone calls, which I hate doing, if I'm not doing my sales partnership, then I have a call center doing it, right? I don't want to do that side of the business. I'm kind of nerdy. I like being behind the computer and managing all the marketing. On the flip side, Vance's business is a sales business. Really get on the phone, great negotiating. They maximize profit on every deal they get, and they choose to outsource their marketing. So we're probably just one of other vendors that they're using. Their core skill is sales. My core skill for my business is marketing. In my opinion, marketing is greater than sales for this joint venture partnership 1 hour business model, because everybody needs deals. That's where everything starts, right? If you are doing a sales business, or I guess just been wholesaling around a while and you're trying to grow your team, right? There's this acquisition manager dilemma, which I had in my own business. Okay, I moved out. I live in California, in San Diego, right? For my intro video at San Diego. I used to live in Delaware, where my business is. Now it's all virtual. And the week before we had our cross-country road trip to drive out here, my acquisition manager quit. Literally the week we were coming out here, okay? And what did I do, right? I had ended up doing deals virtually, and that's how it kind of led me to this business model here that I'm currently doing. But this is a problem, right? Across all different types of businesses in real estate investing, right? The salespeople, one, they're either incompetent, they can steal your leads and your deals, they can start their own business, they can steal the leads and then start their own business, or just start their own business, or they get burnt out, right? So these things are very common. In my case, he was just burnt out. He was leaving the industry and I had no control over it. But I went through 5 acquisitions persons and none of them stuck with me, and it was a huge pain in the butt. And I know with the investors that we work with, this is one of the most common problems they have as well. So let me ask you this: what business are you currently in, and what business do you want to be in? Here's everything I used to do in my wholesaling business. And I'm not going to read them all here because it's going to make me really sad, actually. But now with my new business, this is all that I do. I only manage my marketing for 1 hour a month, and I do nothing else. It's crazy. I just compiled my stats, and I netted more with this 1 hour business model than I ever did doing it full time. It's like, how is that even possible? This is crazy. Okay. I compiled my stats. 2021, I net $95,463.06. And on average, I work just about an hour a month. That is crazy to me. This is more passive than rentals. And I'm excited to share with you exactly how I did it. But ultimately, I was able to do it because of the power of a great partner. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can find one as well. But Tim, if this is so easy, if everyone can make all this money without doing much work, why doesn't everybody do it? That is the question. And I'm going to answer it in the next video. See you there. Okay, let's get right into it. First thing you're going to need is the perfect partner. Okay, what do I mean by that? You're going to need to find the partner that you never knew you needed. This is the first reason why people don't succeed. They don't have the right team that they can work with, all right? Have you ever heard this quote before? Nobody has ever made $1 million by themselves. I would change that quote a little bit to say, no one has ever made $1 million by themselves unless they bought crypto in 2016. I digress. The perfect partner has primarily a flipping or wholesaling business. Wholesaling is the easiest to split profits with. It's very quick and straightforward. They don't want or have the wherewithal to learn online marketing at all. They want to find someone else to do it. They don't have the free time, even if they wanted to learn to do it at all. They want to focus on closing deals. They have the capital to risk, and they want more deals, and they need to be trustworthy. Dogecoin, we don't care about you. Get out of here. So here's something you could pitch to a potential partner for them to work with you. Say, hey, Mr. Investor, I'm looking for a partner with experience in closing deals. They're super competitive right now. The market's hot, but I can find you deals. I'll even work for free. You just got to cover the costs. You risk your money and do your sales thing. I'll risk my time and do my marketing thing. It's a great dynamic duo here. I'm not going to get paid unless you do, so our incentives are aligned. Let's make something happen here. I'll send the leads right to your inbox, CRM, whatever. And if you don't want to work with me, that's cool, but I'm going to find someone in this market because it's kind of a no-brainer deal. So if it's not you, it's going to be one of your competitors. Is this something that makes sense for you? Let's talk about it. Dogecoin, we don't care. Get out of here. Okay, where are you going to find your partner here? Well, I mean, there's a lot of places. Like, this is kind of a common sense thing. So I just posted the other week in a nationwide, Facebook REI group, and someone commented within 45 minutes saying they're going to partner up with me, Buffalo, New York, and we're doing it. So it's kind of a no-brainer thing. People want deals right now. So there's a lot of places you can look. Social media, your local REIAs is probably going to be the best bet. Local investment groups. Call some bandit signs you see on the road. Ask around. If you're in masterminds, that works too. Just good old-fashioned networking is going to get you there. All right. Okay, so let's get to the nitty-gritty, the profit splits. Okay, in my opinion, here's how you'd break down the value of the deal, right? There's the financial risk that you're taking to fund the paid advertising. There's the marketing time and skill to turn that money into leads. And then there's the skill and time of qualifying the leads, setting up appointments, yada, yada. And then finally, negotiating with the seller and the buyer with the disposition and acquisition here. So here's what I think is the value really of each one. Someone who's bringing the financial risk to the table should get about 50% of the deal if they're doing nothing else. Okay, if you're just doing the marketing and turning that money into leads, then that's about 25% worth. Handling the leads about 10%. And if you're doing the negotiating and contracts, about 15%. So there's different ways to look at this, right? Someone, let's say, who's just doing the disposition and acquisition for 15%, that's like a standard boss relationship, right? A lot of wholesaling businesses just pay an acquisition manager 15% to do all that stuff and they close the deal. So there's different ways to structure it. Maybe someone is just funding the marketing for you. They're more like a banker, right? It's up to you how you want to structure it. So the first thing you want to do when you're looking for this win-win partnership with your potential partner, right? The most important thing is add value. You want to add value. And the second thing you want to do is test the waters, okay? We're negotiating here. You want to get a good deal. So here's where I would start when you're trying to work out something with them. First thing is you keep it straightforward. Hey, Mr. Investor, I'll do the marketing, you do the sales and fund the deal. Let's split it 50-50, okay? This is a really good deal for you, and this is where you want to start out. If they say yes, it's probably the best you're going to get. Most of the time, they probably won't say yes, so let's try to find something else creative that works. Okay, so how about I'll do the marketing, you do the sales and fund the deal, and instead of just splitting 50-50, you get all your marketing costs back, and then we'll split the rest. So, for example, let's say it costs $5,000 to get their deal, and they make 20 grand from it. Instead of splitting that 20, you take the 5 off and then you're splitting the 15. So they get a little bit more of the upside for the risk they're taking. Third thing is, I'll do the marketing and you do the sales and let's split the risk and then the deal's 50-50. This is the simplest, most straightforward way to do it. And that's potentially an option as well. And then finally, I'll do the work and I'll work the leads for you. Okay, so it depends where you are in your business, but if you have the skill to do it, you've been in the business a while or if you just want to get better at it, I'll do the marketing, I'll work the leads, you just fund it and to get the contracts, and I'll take a third, you take 2/3, right? So using our profit split percentage chart, you can have different creative ways to mix and match depending on what your skills are, what you want to do, and what your partner is okay with. If all else fails, here's your $10,000 irresistible offer that you can use to get most people. Say, okay, Mr. Investor, I'll do the work, you fund the deals, and work all the leads. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have guardrails here. So you're going to spend $10,000 over 6 months and keep all the profits. You get 100% of the upside. I'll do all the work completely for free. I'll risk all my time and trust that you'll close deals. Okay, so you get new deals. You don't have to do any work in the marketing side to get them. And these are going to be high quality, fat leads and deals. So after 6 months, if you're happy, if you turn your $10,000 into a good profit for you, pay me $5,000 for my effort. Only if you feel it's worth it. Completely subjective. Only if you want to. If you want to keep working with me and you want to get more deals, pay me $5,000. And then after that, we'll split everything 50-50. So this is a great place to start. You're taking on more risk, but they're also getting a lot more of the upside. So this could definitely work for you. So I just say a quick exercise. Take a minute, pause this video, write down 2 or 3 people that you think could be a partner for you. If you're a salesperson, think of some marketing people. If you're a marketing person, then think of some salespeople you could potentially work with. Okay, they don't even have to be in your market. Okay, they could be, and this system can work anywhere in the country. We have clients we work with who go to different markets in different states because they know someone who's boots on the ground who can do the work. So just brainstorm ideas of some people you could potentially talk to. And while you do that, we're going to go over an actual deal I'm working on right now in Delaware. Enjoy. Okay, everybody. We're here in front of 2505 Cleveland Ave, Claymont, Delaware. This is a deal actively working on right now with my partner Jordan, and I will bring him out here in a minute, but I just want to go over how a partnership works here, right? So this property here came through my marketing system. I generated the lead and Jordan does all the work. He handled all the work prior, all the current work, and all the work afterwards. Lead management, acquisitions, dispositions, all that stuff. Plane flying overhead here. So we're gonna take a look at the property just to do a little quick walkthrough and talk to Jordan here. So let's come take a look. This is an active deal that we're currently working on. All right, here, we're going in. Okay, so I got my partner here. There he is.
How you doing, everybody?
This is Jordan. Let me get on this side here. Okay, so I just want to ask a couple questions here. This is my main man. Okay, so I told him about a partnership. I bring the leads. You handle all the leads, everything like that, right?
Yep.
What is in it for you? What do you get out of being in a partnership versus just doing everything yourself?
I was doing a lot of it on my own in the beginning. There's so many different things that go into it. There's just trying to understand the deals versus understand what it takes to market. So for me, being able to partner with you was the right fit because the marketing side is something you were already doing, good at, understood how to bring in leads, people that are highly motivated, and it's worked out well. It's let me focus on the properties and getting the deals done versus how to get leads in front of me.
You can focus on what you're good at. Honestly, this guy's better at acquisitions than I am, so it's a perfect fit. I do the marketing, he does the acquisitions. It's a win-win. So how would you say are the quality of the leads that we're currently sending you right now?
They're always high quality. I mean, there's always going to be the tire kickers, of course, no matter what marketing you're doing. But
right.
With these people contacting us, they're ready to do something. So it's not always a deal, but a lot of times, whether it be just giving it a little bit of time and turning them into deals, or them being ready to go right then, there's always a lot of opportunity with the types of leads we're getting. Okay,
cool. Last question for you here, and then we'll do a walk through the property. When a lead comes in, what is your normal process, and how urgency? What's the urgency of the leads and things like that?
If possible, I answer the phone when it rings. Trying to get back to them within 5 minutes max, and just getting the basic information. Finding out what they're looking for, even if it's going to be on the deal as being on the radar as being a deal. And then attacking it from there, but really getting a hold of them as soon as possible.
Urgency, cool, man.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do a walkthrough. I sprung this on him last minute. He didn't know he was doing an interview here, so can you just give us? I haven't seen this property yet.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I live in California, so it's my first time back. Let's take a look at this house.
So there's the porch area.
All right, here we go.
The seller's going to be getting a lot of stuff out of here still. They grew up in this house, so it means a lot to them, and they have a lot of things that are still here that they want.
Okay.
Living room, there's no HVAC here at this point. It's all radiator heat, so there's going to be an HVAC system put in. A lot of these radiators taken out.
So why are they selling it to us? What's the backstory here?
They again they grew up here. It's a house that they've been working on basically forever. Grandmother passed away. They ended up moving into that house because they have a lot of kids, more room. Fixing up 2 houses at once is not something they wanted to do, and they're living in that one, so it takes precedent.
Makes sense.
And this one, instead of just sitting here, it's time to move on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, easy enough.
All right, so that's here.
It's pretty standard. Pretty standard deal.
Yeah.
Pay-per-click deal right here. This is actually a small spread deal. This isn't a killer deal. What's the spread on this one going to be?
We're going to make $5K.
$5K. All right.
But it was one of those ones where it was get it under contract and see if we can make something happen. We could always renegotiate, but it's better to lock up the asset is what I'm learning as of recent. So better to make something happen,
Okay, we're going to the basement. This isn't a bad neighborhood. Better than a lot of the neighborhoods we go into. So, all right. Okay. All right.
So there was a lot of different things the seller was in the process of doing as they lived here and were working on things. Some of those things they've stopped doing, of course, and they've taken things out, so things have sat. And they've cut some of the pipes. They're replacing it with tacks, that type of stuff.
Okay. Oil heat here. Mm-hmm. Right. How old's the HVAC? HVAC any good?
No. It doesn't have any. It just has the oil boiler.
Oil boiler, got it.
So that'll be being all scrapped. It's going to be a central air system being put in.
Got this here. Okay. This is where Jordan works out of. This is his office right here.
It's the beautiful office.
Just kidding. Okay.
So and then you can do a
quick tour of the upstairs. All right. Going on up. So again, I've never seen this house before. I don't actually go to, this is the first property I think of any of the deals we've done that I've actually walked through.
Yep.
So nonetheless, the deals still happen and it works out. Split the deals.
So again, he was
okay, here we go.
in the middle of working on some stuff and let him leave it what it is.
It's a 3-bedroom house?
Yeah, 3 bedrooms, but technically 4. They just need to put a closet back in the one downstairs.
All right, not too bad. Very cookie cutter type of deal. Man, I haven't walked through a property in forever. This brings back memories. All right. Pretty standard here. This is cool. Bathroom needs a touch of paint. Needs a touch of paint here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cosmetic.
And the guy who's buying it's flipping it, right?
Correct.
Probably. Mm-hmm. And where'd you find the buyer at?
I found the buyer from a Facebook post, I believe, on the local real estate group.
Facebook post.
Yep.
Social media guys. Mm-hmm. Crazy. All right. Oh, this hurt my hand. That's the tour. Not too complicated there. All right, guys. That's how, just wanted to show you like a quick video, how JV partnerships work, deals we're actively working on. Okay, I'm not just in my office all the time. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, let's get into $10,000 trade-offs. What is that? What does that mean? So $10,000 is a good rule of thumb to get you a deal, basically guaranteed with any marketing method in any market. Maybe apart from like New York and San Francisco and like Miami maybe, right? So there's really a guaranteed way you can get a deal, yet people aren't sure what the best marketing strategy to do is, right? How do you want to spend that $10,000, right? You see posts on Facebook all the time. Can anyone give me advice how to find deals? I'm new to wholesaling. What do I do, right? There's driving for dollars, direct mail, cold calling, texting, Facebook, all these things. The problem is they all work, but they all have trade-offs. So we're going to talk about each one so you can decide what is the best marketing method for you. You don't have to use Google Ads if you don't want to, right? There are other channels out there. Let's go into them. So driving for dollars. This is an actual photo I've taken of my buddy. No, I'm just kidding. But it's funny, right? Driving for dollars to me is super boring. I would never want to do it. It's very time consuming. I don't want to drive around for 6 hours. I don't know about you. And it's hard to scale. So I don't want to have really anything to do with it, but it's great for people getting started. It is cheap to do, and it can be highly targeted and very unique with low competition. So driving for dollars certainly has its place. Direct mail, right? You hear the stories all the time. Oh, I sent someone a direct mail piece. I went on the appointment and there were 12 other postcards sitting on their kitchen counter, right? Happens all the time. There's a lot of competition, but This stuff works. There's a reason. Direct mail has been the bread and butter for investors for very many years. It's highly targeted and can be really profitable if you do the targeting correctly. But the problem is, if you do it incorrectly, it can be super expensive. Once you hit the send on 10,000 postcards, your money is not coming back, even if you got to add a certain criteria in the list, right? I used to do direct mail, and I stopped doing it because I was unable to consistently do it. It was way too complicated for me. I'd mess up all the time and waste thousands and thousands of dollars. And finally, I hate getting angry voicemails, especially from like probate lists, right? People get really upset, and it just made me kind of sad. So I don't want to have anything to do with direct mail personally. Cold calling is hot. Everyone's doing cold calling right now, especially people getting started because it's cheap. If you have a lot of time, go for it. Great for getting your first deal, 100%. But it takes forever. And I hate being on the phone. It crushes my soul. So I would never do it. I know it works for a lot of people, but I think it doesn't work for a lot of people as well. And maybe I'm speaking to you. If you want to hire it out, which you can do and get a virtual assistant, right? There's a lot of turnover doing that as well. So, there's really no way that it's not going to take amount of time because even if you don't do it yourself, you're going to have to get new VAs and hiring them and manage them and all that kind of stuff. And finally, there's regulations that have come out that make it even harder to get your calls through. People know that they're spam and response rates are going down. So I don't think this is going to be the number one method for people much longer, if it even is anymore. So adding to that, right, here's the reason why. In the summer of this past year, 2021, the TRACE Act was passed, which basically added a lot of fines and prevented people from doing text message blasting and all these laws out there, right? It applied the stir shaken, which is now a policy that all these phone companies have to do, right? So basically you call someone, they have to authenticate and verify. You can see the picture here. And what happens is now on your phone, right, you can see if something is a scam. So this is going to lower your response rates, almost completely eliminated text blasting and ringless voicemails because the fines are ridiculously large, okay? I'm not going to get fined $10,000. That could destroy your business if you get unlucky and do it incorrectly. So I would steer very far away from that. People ask me all the time about Facebook ads. I used to run Facebook ads for my own business, right? I'm doing good at Google. Why not just do Facebook as well, right? It's internet marketing, all the same thing, right? No, they are not. Here's why I don't do Facebook ads anymore, okay? The iOS update of last year, we don't do Facebook ads for anybody because really of this reason. It makes Facebook a lot harder to do the targeting that you want to do because of the privacy changes that Apple has implemented. The ads are getting rejected all the time on Facebook, especially for the housing industry that we are in. And on top of that, there's going to be a lot of time spent having to make new videos and new media so that you keep people's attention interested. Otherwise, your stats are going to go down after a couple months after everyone sees your content here. The good news is, and this is what you see all these Facebook ad agencies are selling is, hey, the leads are super cheap. So you can get $20, $40, $50 leads, which is great. But most of the leads, honestly, are crappy. They're just not good leads. So I personally don't do Facebook ads. I think it's more hassle and more time than people think it is. SEO is the holy grail, right? Yes and no. So I do SEO in my own business. Some of the deals I got in the past year were from SEO, full disclosure, right? I personally think it's the best return on investment that you could get if you're ranked high. Okay, if you're ranked high, which is by far from a guarantee. Okay, the negatives, upfront, it's going to cost you a lot of time and or money to do. It'll be less time down the road, which is good, but upfront it's going to take you a long time. My site in Delaware used to be ranked number one, and I started building it in 2015. It took me like 2 years to get any serious momentum on it. Okay, maybe like a year and a half. Now I'm no longer ranked number one. In the last 6 months, I think it was like June of last year, I lost half of my rankings on my own Delaware website because of a change that Google decided to make like that. So even if you are able to become the number one spot, it is not a guarantee that you are going to stay there by any means. I put all the work and I still lost all my rankings. So yeah, it can be a pain. You're at the whim of Google and it's very competitive. If you look at this chart here, so it's a great study that shows the average age of the top 10 positions. If you want to be number one, the average age is 950 days. So that's like like 3 years almost, right? So it can take a long time to rank really high. You can try it, but just ask yourself, can you beat the odds? Here's another chart here. The number one Google position of people who've gotten there in less than 1 year old is just over 1%. So if you think that you can beat 99% of your competition in your market on SEO, go for it. 100% go for it. If not, maybe it's not something to get deals this year. So let's talk about Google Ads here. You ever heard this before? I know I have. The leads are too expensive. It doesn't work in my market. It's only for people who have tens and tens of thousands of dollars to spend. I tried it and it just doesn't work, right? Well, here's the thing. Google Ads is really difficult to learn. Here's why. The chart that I showed you before, was that overwhelming at all? There's like so many bells and whistles on it. People like don't even want to go anywhere near it. On top of that, Google changes their interface all the time. Last year, they made changes to the search term data you can get, to how keywords are written. And this year, they're making like a huge overhaul to how ads are written. So it's a lot to keep up with. If you don't know what's going on and you make a mistake, if you have one setting wrong or one keyword type wrong, you could literally lose thousands and thousands of dollars. It's happened to me, and you won't even notice it's happening until the money is already gone. It's kind of terrifying to be honest. So you really need to be on top of it 100%. If you call Google, the reps there, in my opinion, are evil. Okay, indicative by the imagery I have on this slide. Really, the reason why is because the conflict of interest. So when they talk to you, most of the advice, next time you talk to them, just listen. Most of the advice they tell you is spend more money and broaden your targeting, which is spending more money, or give Google more control, which they will probably end up spending more of your money. So there's a complete conflict of interest. I don't use Google reps for anything, even though they bother me all the time. I would stay very far away from them. So all these things, on top of that, contradictory information, there's just not enough time to learn everything. This is why people don't learn it. So what do? They'll hire a marketing agency. And here, as I've seen, are the 4 types in our industry. There's these like generic big box, I call them Walmart agencies. So they'll do everything. They'll do SEO, Facebook, Google. The fees aren't too bad. They're pretty competitive. They do every market. They'll do a pizza. They'll do hair salons. They'll do real estate. They'll do everything. But the results are often not great. The leads are often going to be not great because they don't really know our industry or what they're doing. They're not specialized. Second, you can get a freelancer, right? Everyone who says, oh, my PPC guy, my PPC girl, this is what they're talking about. It's a random person who knows how to do Google Ads to some extent. They often don't have very many large fees, but they can be really hard to find someone who's good. Most of the people out there are not good, so it's very risky. And if they go on vacation for 2 weeks and something happens with your account, like what are you going to do, right? It's not really as professional of a service that you can get, maybe not as reliable. Third, you can get the boutique agencies out there. Okay, these are the ones that you hear about and on mostly on like all the podcasts and stuff, but they're very expensive. They may be able to get you decent results, but only if you have a large budget. Otherwise, you're going to get squeezed too thin and you're going to quit very quickly. That's why I think there's like a mixed bag of results oftentimes. And then finally, you can get a pay-per-lead service where you just straight buy the lead. This can be really good, but the leads can be really expensive, and you're not going to have any control over the quality, over the volume, and even if your market is available or not. So PPC results may vary in the short term, right? If you're going to go down this path, don't expect a deal within 60 days. Here's the reason why. So our industry has a high cost per click because you can make a lot of money on these leads, but because of that, you're going to get less clicks and you're going to get less data. And less data means it's going to take longer for Google to have for the algorithm to start working and for you to like really start rocking and rolling and for the deals to start rolling in. So people do get deals within like a week or two. It does happen, but it's luck. Okay, it is luck, 100%. I would say, good rule of thumb, give it at least twice your average cost per deal to get your first deal, to give Google time to get the data so that you can start getting the campaign rolling. All these people that work with me almost quit within 6 months. Okay, I literally had to beg them to stay with me. I said, look, I'll work for free. I won't charge you until the stuff starts working. And they all thankfully ended up listening to me. Not all of them do, but the ones who do, Sean, he ended up netting, okay, after paying ad spend, after paying my fees, $87,000. Clint, $115,000. And Vance, as you saw, $137,000 because they stuck with it and they trusted the process. And most people don't, okay? Fun fact, Sean his average time between when the lead comes in and when he actually gets paid is 9 months, okay? You need to have a long time horizon. Please, please, please give it at least 6 months for your campaign to start working. There's a dilemma in our industry. So if you look at the little circle here on the top left, right, Google Ads is hard to learn. So what do people do? They go hire an agency. But the problem with it is most of these agencies that actually work, the fees are really high. So because the fees are high, it forces you to have a pretty high budget so you can have a decent return. Okay, but when you have a high budget, you have a pressure to get results quicker because you're spending more money. So when that happens, either the people will get lucky and they'll get a deal within the first 60 days and then they'll say this is great, or they won't get a deal and they'll say this doesn't work and then they'll quit or they'll blame the agency and the agency sucks. And then they're back in the same boat, so they're either going to try to learn Google Ads again, which is really hard, or they're going to hire another agency. So this happens all the time, and really what it's led to is agency hopping, right? There's a lot of investors that just hop from agency to agency every 2 or 3 months because they never get some traction. Only the lucky end up surviving and saying Google Ads works, and it leads to a bunch of mixed messages of this works, it doesn't work, yada, yada, yada. Even with our own people that we've worked with, our own customers, I'm fully transparent. We had a guy, Tony, in Florida. He spent $3,000 over 3 months, quit. Brian, $2,500, 6 weeks, he quit. Todd, $4,000, quit. Chuck, $1,300, quit. Phil, $6,000, 5 months, quit. No deals. All these people quit, and they didn't get any deals for their revenue whatsoever. Complete money down the tubes. And it makes me sad. You know, I genuinely believe that if all these folks stayed with us longer, they would have not only made their money back, but made a hefty profit as well, just like Sean Clinton Vance I showed you before. So really, what do we do, right? There's all these trade-offs in the industry, and there's really no best solution, right? Anyone who tells you that wholesaling is easy is trying to sell you something. None of these methods are foolproof, as you have seen here now. So if anyone tells you there's a golden bullet, just think twice. Maybe they're trying to sell you something, right? But what do you do? If there's no perfect option, again, what do we do here? Well, I'm going to answer exactly that in the next video. So for the last few years, I've been on a quest to solve this dilemma in the PPC industry, right? All this agency hopping. What can we do? Is there a perfect win-win solution for everybody out there? So you can see here, I've been on a bunch of podcasts. I've tried talking about it. I've worked with Carrot and their customers, and Tom Kroll and his customers, and other types of agencies and gurus out there, and just trying to solve this dilemma here. And I've did it for 7 years, and here are my conclusions. 1, the short-term agency hopping mindset is prevalent, okay? I have a PPC agency as well, in addition to what we're doing here. And like I said, it just happens all the time, no matter how good our service is, right? But more interestingly enough than that, every single investor who stuck with us at least 12 months made money. Without a doubt, 100%, every single one of them. Most of them after only 6 months, okay? To me, this means something here. And on average, they'd net about $100,000 per year per market, okay? So there is something to here, and this is really what I've built my program around. And then finally, really nobody wants to spend the time to be a Google Ads whiz. No one wants to learn it. So with all this information, I have compiled a 6-month roadmap to solve this dilemma, okay? And what we're going to get out of this, 1, you'll never have to pay an agency again. You can succeed on a small budget. We're going to optimize for great deals, not for cheap leads. You'll be able to scale virtually with no limit on your own without relying on any agency. And we're focusing on building here a long-term revenue stream. So we're calling it the 6-month, 1-hour deals, $100,000 roadmap, okay? Let's get right into it. First off, here are the rules if you want to hit 100K per year. Your market population should be at least 400,000. That's on the lower end. We like to see like 1 million at least, but Vance was like right on the cusp of this. You really should be at least 400,000. We get people all the time coming to us and are like, I'm not getting enough leads. My campaign isn't working. And they're in rural Montana and with a population of 5,000. I'm like, well, there's really nothing you can do there if no one lives there. You should have a budget of $1,500 a month minimum. And for Google Ads, that's really low. And commit to spend at least $10,000. Not right off the bat, but over time, commit to $10,000. So it could be like 6 or 7 months. So the first month, we're going to set your foundation, okay? First off, your expectations need to be in line. So you take your budget, and there are systems that you can use to estimate how much leads are going to cost based on how much the clicks are going to cost. So you can estimate how many leads you're going to get. There's no like right or wrong cost there, but you kind of set your expectations. Once you do that, you need to make sure you have your system in place. So when the leads do come in, if they come in through like a form, that you can get back to them within 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Super important. These leads are very, very hot. Okay, they're the best deals out there, but you need to be on top of them. If you're not on top of them, someone else will be. 30% of the leads are normally like phone calls. They're calling number on your website. So make sure you have someone answer them live if possible. Okay, have this set up before you spend a single dollar. You want to also have, ideally, an agent referral partner, because not every lead is going to be a deal. Of course, like my partner Jordan said, right? So have an agent where you can refer out and get some extra side income here. Don't have to do it, but it is important, and it can be a little salt. It can really cover your marketing costs just doing that. And then we're going to launch the Google Ads campaign. And here are the 3 keywords really that make up the majority of the traffic. Here we have a whole bunch in our campaign, but these are the 3 you can start with. So let's go through my lead management system here. I'm going to show you exactly what mine looks like, just really quick. So really, when I get my leads to come in, it goes to an email address. I'll show you my website. So this is my website here, right? So they come to my website, they fill out this form right here, and then that goes to my email address, and I have on my phone. I don't know where my phone is right now, but I get just a notification, ding, ding, ding. The leads come in, or my partner does, and then it'll open up a lead here, right? And boom. So take the lead, get the information, call them up, and then it goes into my Podio system here, which I have. So we can just go to lead management, and then the leads come in. And you can kind of see exactly what, I shouldn't have you like my good leads in here. But yeah, basically you can click on the leads, and we're going to pull up an old one here, something like this, right? So you go in here, and we have, you can be cold lead, hot lead, whatever it is. And we track how quickly we get a hold of them. We track when the leads come in, what the beds and baths are, etc. So we know I can track with my partner how quickly we're getting to the leads, right? When the lead came in, when we first called them, when we first got a hold of them, and we can calculate the minutes based on that. And basically that's it. That's the system. Not super complicated. And then when we get the deal, we update this and whatnot. So back to the Prezi here. Okay. So month 2, we're going to learn how to drive, not become the mechanic. Okay, when you take a driver's test, you don't need to know how the serpentine belt and the engine is built and how the brakes work, and you just need to know how to drive it, how to use the brakes, and how to use the radio, right? So the same applies with Google Ads. You don't need to know exactly all the bells and whistles of Google Ads. You just need to know how to make it work for you to make money, okay? So you're going to leave your theory at the door. And the way to do this, let me take a dramatic pause. The way to do this is through the 80-20 optimization rule. So basically, you guys know the 80-20 rule, that 20% of your work is going to give you 80% of your results here. So same applies with Google Ads. You can ignore 80% of the stuff in there and just focus on the top 20% that'll give you most of the results. You don't need to be in the account every day. Again, 1 hour a month, here's what we're looking for. So this is a screenshot of what the back end of Google Ads look like. Again, you can see there's a lot here, a lot of different settings and setup and audience manager and conversion analytics and match types and average cost per click and all these things. But in reality, you don't need to know every single thing on here. You literally don't need to know anything about it whatsoever. The most important things that you do need to know are, obviously what keywords you're using, the conversion, making sure your conversion tracking is set up, how much the leads are costing you, and some conversion backend data as well, which we'll talk about. So here's how you use the data to drive your Google engine in just 1 hour a month. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the 1 to 12 months trends for each of these metrics here. Okay, so we have 5 metrics here, and these are the most important metrics that you'll need to know to make adjustments to your campaign. Okay, I'm not going to go through every single one of these and everything here because that would take too long, but just know that if you understand what these 5 metrics are and all the factors affecting these 5 metrics, then when you go into a campaign using the 80-20 principle, you can make adjustments very quickly that have a large impact and that are focused on making you money. Okay, so you look at the trends for each of these metrics and you say, okay, what's the most important one to focus on? Let's say over the past 4 months, your conversion rate, which is how many people on your site ended up filling out the form or contacting you. Let's say your conversion rate was going down a little bit every single month. It's trending downward. Then you know, okay, this is the most important metric to focus on if everything else is kind of staying the same or doing well. This month, we're just going to focus on conversion rate. And what affects conversion rate? Well, it's going to be the quality of your traffic and the quality of your website. So you focus on those 2 things and you make improvements and you see how it goes next month. And basically, that's it. This is the process that we use with all of our Google Ads accounts to manage, and it works and it's profitable. By the way, at the end of this course, you'll be able to download this entire slide deck, so you don't have to memorize all this stuff or pause the video. I will give you the whole slide deck that you can use as a reference. By the way, stop comparing cost per lead. It really doesn't matter, right? Just like, remember I said about the Facebook agencies, they're going to sell you at how cheap the leads are. Literally doesn't matter. Vance's average lead cost was $230 in 2021. Across all of our campaigns, they were over $300. You tell someone that and they're like, whoa, this doesn't work. This is way too expensive. No, these people are making a ton of money. I hope that I'm like kind of happy when they're like, oh, these leads are expensive. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Good. Give them to me so we can make a crap ton of money with it, right? And when you get better leads, you're going to have less time talking to tire kickers. There's no angry voicemails. And frankly, like you don't even need like an acquisition manager to do it. Let's say you're not hiring an acquisition manager. You can do it on your own. Just like with Betty, she had 2 full-time jobs. And because the leads are so high quality, you don't really need a ton of time to manage it. Our campaigns average about 1 good deal every 10 to 15 leads versus Facebook's probably like 40 or 50. Like direct mail, cold calling, those are all probably pretty high as well. Month 3, let's go. So month 3 is where you're going to learn and set your PPC success formula. Okay, so at the end of month 3, we're going to do a deep audit of your lead quality, your tracking, your cost, how much money you're spending, what your return on investment is, what kind of deals you're getting, etc. Really, what the goal here is, we're trying to make sure that we're setting you up to succeed, and we have enough data now to make decisions. So let me tell you a story here. We had a client here, and I still do. We started out in Hampton Roads, Virginia, which is just lingo for this whole regional areas of like 7 counties. And after the first 3 months, he didn't get any deals and realized the campaign he was struggling with it. He's like, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. But what we ended up doing, we looked at the data and say, okay, maybe it's just for this area, with the way his business is set up and the deals he's looking for, it's just not the right formula. So we ended up expanding. Okay, we added in the Richmond, Virginia market, which wasn't too far away, and his acquisition team could still service it, right? And now, once we did that, he started getting the leads he wants and the deals that he could turn and assign, and his campaign is now successful, right? But a lot of people don't think about doing this when their PPC campaign. They're like too in the weeds of things, and they're looking at all the data, and that's great, but you need to make sure your overall strategy is set up where you can close the leads that you're getting. Okay, very, very important. Month 3. Month 4 and 5, pretty straightforward, right? You may need to make some other additional targeting needed once you get some feedback, but mostly you're just going to try to get better at your process. You're going to sharpen it so you can get it down to 1 hour or less, and you're going to make money and close deals and follow up with leads, right? Month 4 and 5 is like you're sitting pretty, you're doing well. And then month 6, really, rinse and repeat. Right now, you should have your system in place, and you can scale it up where you can, let's say you started out with $1,500 a month, maybe you go to $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month, or you add in a second market. Virginia, maybe you go to DC, or we have a guy in Philly, you went to Florida, whatever you want to do. But you can really scale, and the sky's the limit, really, of how much capital you want to put into it. So if you want to partner, obviously we have the 1 Hour Deals program. We'll show you exactly step-by-step how to do everything that we talk about in this roadmap. It isn't cheap and it's not for everyone, but we basically guarantees results for you. You can schedule a call below if you're interested. Just real quick about what it is here. So what you would get with the 1 Hour Deals program, you'll learn the exact step-by-step 1 hour how to drive your Google engine, Google Ads management system. Here we'll go in depth exactly how you can do it and how you can get it down to 1 hour per month. We'll go over this entire how to implement this 6-month 100K roadmap that we've gone over in this course. We'll also give you our Google Ads lead management masterclass, how you should be handling from when the leads come in to how you get paid, all the whole process there. We'll even completely do your entire launch of your campaign and your website for you. And we will manage your entire campaign for 6 months. For 6 months, completely included. And we'll show you every month exactly what we did in your campaign. So you can learn how to run your campaign with a 1 hour a month, even better than an agency could. Finally, we'll give you one-on-one monthly strategy calls where we can talk about your campaign or anything in business that you need help with. You'll be talking directly to me. And then finally, we will guarantee your success or your money back. That's right. You will get leads. You will get enough high quality leads to close deals, or we'll give you all of your money back. No one else in the industry would offer anything like that, but we know the service works. So please, if you're interested, schedule a call below at the little button there. Guys, it is time to give Google access to the little guy, to the investors with small budgets that most of us are dealing with right now. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Time to make six figures a year on 1 hour a month. On to the next video. So once you implement our 6-month 100K 1 Hour Deals roadmap, you could have an extra 159 extra hours per month with your time, right? Instead of working 40 hours a week for 4 weeks, it's 160 hours. You only have to work 1 hour, so you're left with 159 extra hours per month to do whatever you want. But your job does not stop there. Remember Betty from the beginning of the course? She is no longer in wholesaling. Okay, even though she got 5 deals right in the first 3 months, okay, her campaign slowed down for the next couple months because I tell you, it takes a little bit of time. Okay, since she was new, she didn't know how to maximize her profits on her deals. Okay, her margins were making her nervous and uncomfortable, and she wasn't willing to continue to spend money, and she ended up quitting too soon, and she's no longer even in the business anymore. So why is that? Right? What is happening here? Making money is not going to solve your problems, unfortunately. This is a hard reality that I had to learn for myself. Remember that deal I had that was a $42,500 deal in Townsend, Delaware? I blew every single penny of my profits with that deal. At the end of that year, I was no better off than the beginning of the year. I had nothing to show for it. And why is that? Because I didn't understand my finances. It is a crucial part of being a business owner. Okay, since then I have learned. I had David Richter on my podcast. He helps real estate investors. He wrote a book called Profit First for Real Estate Investing. It's a branch of the Profit First series. Check it out. The concept is great. I'm not going to go into it. This is not a financial course, but these concepts helped me to improve these skills, and I no longer blow all my profits that I get. So Tag Thompson, another great real estate investment investor and influencer. Okay, he had a Facebook post in the mid last year in the summertime. So he did a research project here, and he basically interviewed guests of other people on Bigger Pockets and other big podcasts. Okay, and he said, hey, are you still in the business? What are you doing now? And his results found that 93% of these podcast guests were no longer even in the business at all. 93% turnover in our industry. It's so high, and honestly, it breaks my heart to see that. And it almost happened to me a few years ago because I felt like I was doing everything right and I still wasn't getting ahead. So I believe the problem is we don't have the CEO mindset. Yes, we can close deals, but we don't think about it like business people. We don't focus internally on who we need to be. So I wrote this blog post here I'm going to pull up. You can check it out on my agency website. It's called "Anyone Who Tells You That Wholesaling Real Estate's Easy is Trying to Sell You Something," just like I mentioned earlier in the course, right? I'm not going to go through this whole thing. It kind of goes through my journey here. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this blog post. You can see it's pretty long. A little bit of cursing in there as well. But ultimately, here's what I think you need to do in order to prevent yourself from quitting, from being the 93% of people who are no longer in the business. So, one, you need to understand your metrics and financials to make the most informed decisions. You need to know how to manage your cash flow, hire great people or bring people on your team, lead them, manage them, build trust relationships, communicate effectively. Okay? You need to learn how to cast vision for your life and your business for you and your team and your family, those around you. You need to be self-aware and have discipline so that you know how to manage your emotions, so you can be productive. You're not sabotaging yourself on a day-to-day, week-in, week-out basis. And then finally, you need to know how to automate, systemize, and delegate functions in the business, which for me is what I'm best at. And there are a lot of books on here. I will give you a bunch of other recommendations as well at the end of the course. But check this blog post out for sure. Okay, we're going back to the slide deck. So let me ask you this. What is the vision for your life? What ultimately do you want to accomplish? Because just making money is not going to solve all your problems. So I want you to do an exercise with me, okay? I'm going to do it in just a second. But if you get an extra 159 extra hours per month, you have a responsibility, whether you like it or not, to do something with that time. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a vision for that, you could suffer. You could get depressed and just lose focus and wither away. When you have that kind of free time, you need to be intentional about how you're going to use it. Okay, ask me how I know, because I went through a period where I had plenty of free time, and I only have to work an hour a month for my business. I'm not just working an hour a month, okay? Because it is unfulfilling and it put me in a really dark spot. So we're going to do an exercise to prevent this from happening to you. And I'm going to move the camera over here so you can follow along with me. Here we go. Let's take a look here. Boom. There we go. Okay. So this is called the time trigger task method. And I'm going to pull up my little whiteboard here. So what we're going to do, my computer is like a pseudo tablet. So follow along with me. And pause the video, get a pen and paper, or use your Microsoft Word or whatever you want to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to write down the top five emotions that you want to feel on like your best day. So you had like no obligations. You did whatever you want to do. What are the top 5 feelings that you want to have throughout that day? Okay, think about it for a moment. Let's write it down. So for me, I'll do this exercise live with you here. Let me change my color. Let me keep it branded. I'm gonna go green. So first one that comes to mind, gratitude. Okay. High energy is an important one for me. I want to feel healthy. What else? I want to feel accomplished, like I've did something with my day, right? And I want to feel love and connection. Okay, it's like some Tony Robbins stuff right here. So if you're not done yet, if you need more time to think about it, I've done this exercise before. So if you need more time to think about it, pause the video. And then once you're done, resume the video and we're going to go on to the next step. So what we're going to do now is look at the triggers for each of these emotions. So for each of these emotions, what are the top three things that trigger you to feel that way? Okay, so for me, for gratitude, right, the top 3 things for me would be like writing thank you notes. What else would be like praying, right? Praying could be one. And let's say just reflecting on the day. To me, just like reflecting. All right, second one here, high energy. High energy, my handwriting is terrible. You get the idea. Okay, so I like tennis. Tennis for me gives me a ton of energy. I like music. Dancing is one for me. And then like working out is a big one for me. And it can be duplicate. Like there could be something that gives you high energy and makes you feel healthy at the same time. Like it doesn't have to be a different one for each. Number 3 here. So healthy. Okay, so like cooking food makes me feel healthy. Eating healthy, obviously. Eating healthy. And then let's say yoga. Yoga makes me feel healthy. Okay, I'll move over here. So for accomplished, all right, accomplished. What is accomplished? Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Let's say like focused work, right? Focused work. What else makes me feel accomplished? Playing tennis actually makes me feel accomplished. Working out makes me feel accomplished as well. So those are 3 for me. And then the 5th one, we have love and connection, right? So, we'll keep this PG here, but I would say like date nights, with my fiance would be one. Like game nights with my friends. So game nights with my friends. And another one could just be, let's say, just like hanging out, right? Just like hanging. Or like family calls, let's say that, right? Family calls, Zoom calls, right? Big in the pandemic. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, once you have that done, again, pause the video until you get it done. We're gonna move on to the time of day. So we're basically gonna take these 15 things, or some of them, you don't have to use all 15, and we're gonna plug them into basically a schedule and see how we can work out like the ultimate, most powerful schedule of the day. So for me, in the morning, and you can do it like time blocks, or you can just do it in order, like whatever you want to do. I'm like a very analytical guy, type A, so I like doing time blocks here. So first thing you want to do is decide what time you want to wake up in the morning. Ideally, when do you want to wake up? Is it 10 a.m.? Is it 4 a.m.? Where do you stand? And think about this, because think about how many hours of sleep do you need to get as well. Right, so time of day for me, let's say it's 6 a.m. I want to wake up early, like, all the CEOs and work out or whatever, right? But I also want to get 8 hours of sleep. So 8 hours of sleep, so let's say 8 hours of sleep, that would be, 10 o'clock bedtime? Okay, I'm good with that. All right, maybe waking up at 5 a.m. sounds great, but I don't want to go to bed at 9 o'clock every night. So keep in mind, not just when you want to wake up, but when you want to go to bed. So wake up at 6 a.m. So let's say 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. What I want to do is I want to feel. So think about how you want to feel. I want to feel healthy in the morning. So what could I do here? Well, I could do any one of these 3 things. So let's just say I will do like cooking breakfast, or I could do like yoga, or both, right? So we're just going to go through the whole day here. So let's say, okay, 7 to 9 a.m. for me, I want to feel high energy. So if I want to feel high energy, what am I going to do? I'm going to either play tennis. Let's look at my list here. Or maybe like workout, right? Tennis or like workout. Something like that. It doesn't have to be the same every day, right? You give yourself options. And then from, say, 9 to 1, I want to feel accomplished. So I'm going to do some like deep focused work. Whatever I want to work on, whatever my purpose, my passion is, I'm going to do that then. And then I'm probably going to want to feel like relaxed. So I'm actually going to add relaxed to that list. I like to chill, relaxed. Things that make me feel relaxed are napping, TV, what else? Like maybe massage, right? Massage. So I'll do that here, right? So we'll do, let's say 1 to 2, maybe we'll do like lunch, and then like 2 to, let's say 4, I want to relax. So what am I going to do? I'll probably like watch some TV or like get a massage or yoga or something like that. And then let's say I want to have some like loving connection next. So let's say 4 to like, 9 is like date night, dates, games, friends. Boom. And that's my day, right? So for me, just doing this fairly quickly, you can obviously refine it. You can have a vision for what the most powerful day that you can picture looks like. In this day, I'm feeling all of the most powerful emotions that I want to feel in my life. I am intentionally living my life the way that I want to live it. So, with that being said, let's put this presentation back up here and back to the slides. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the most powerful day and we're going to build your most powerful month with it. Hang in there. This is going to be a super quick exercise. So let me actually I'm just going to pull up the thing again. All right. Well, that was a bit of a waste of time. So, okay, had a bit of a malfunction there. So now we're going to take our most powerful month. Okay, most powerful month. Down below. All right, so you're going to ask yourself, in addition to your perfect day in a given month, what do you want to do? So for me, I want to maybe at some point take like a 3-day like trip somewhere, like a travel trip. I've met some investors who they work 3 weeks and take an entire week off. So for me, I take 1 week off, let's say. And then I would like to have like a 3-day tennis event or something. So what you're going to do here is just really quickly build your calendar. So we're going to start with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Okay. Thursday, Friday. I'm like rushing through this, but you get the idea. Okay. So then we're going to do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So this is like a rough month here. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why that went into black. So, boom. Okay. So you're going to plug in basically, okay, your most powerful day. So yeah, maybe start Monday here. These are all my most powerful days I want to go through. Boom, boom. But then maybe this day I want to take a 3-day trip. All right. So I'm just going to take a 3-day trip. So trip. And maybe the last week of the month, I'm going to want to take this entire week off. Okay. So just like chill, whatever I want to do, week off. Okay. Whatever I want to do. And let's say in between, maybe here I will take a like 3 days of tennis. Okay, so tennis will be here or something like that. So the rest of it you can kind of just fill in the way that you want to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so excuse me. So this ends up being your most powerful month. Okay, if you had an extra 159 extra hours per month, this is what your ideal life would look like, right? Obviously, you can refine it over time here. All right, let's put the camera back up here. So going back to the CEO mindset, if we look at the list of things that we need to do to be a CEO, throughout this course, we've covered most of them, okay? We've talked about what metrics you need to use to make your important decisions based on your Google Ads campaign, right? We've talked about profit first and cash flow. We talked about structuring your team and bringing on the right people for it, how to communicate the win-win partnership to it. We've just went over now casting vision for yourself and your team, and we talked about this. Obviously, this whole thing is a systems to delegate, right? And systemize your business. The last thing on here is self-awareness and discipline, okay? How are you going to be self-aware and have discipline in your own life and business? Is this in your vision? Hard work, giving back to others, becoming better in whatever aspect you want to, improving your skills, constant growth, spending time with loved ones. These are things that are important, and that no matter what you end up doing, right? The point of this program isn't for you to sit on a beach all day and all year and all month. The point is for you to free up time to do whatever makes your heart sing, to find your purpose in your life. Okay, and no matter what you end up doing with your life, whether it's money focused or family focused or charity or whatever it is, okay, you're going to need to put in the hard work. Okay, it's not going to be easy. So don't discount how important being self-aware and focusing on yourself and putting in the hard work is. I don't have to work at all, but I work very hard because I have a purpose in my life. I'm doing what I love, and it makes me feel good about myself when I work hard. So, what are you going to do next? Now that you have your vision, what are the next steps you're going to take? We're going to put everything together, and we're going to give you some free gifts in our final video of the course. See you there. Okay, we're going to put everything together now with an 8-step action plan that you can use to achieve your most powerful month using this 1-hour business model here. So, the very first step, you need to adopt the CEO mindset. You need to make sure that you get your mind right so that you're set up to succeed. Because if you don't have your mind right, no matter what you achieve, you may not get the end result you're looking for. So once you get that down, that you are who you need to be in order to succeed, set the vision for what you want. Set the vision for when you have that free time, your most powerful day, your most powerful month. Next, choose which business model you're going to focus on. Is it sales? Is it marketing? Is it both? What kind of business do you want to have, or do you currently have? Once you have that down, set your $10,000 marketing plan. What are you going to spend your next $10,000 on? Maybe you're already successful with direct mail or cold calling and you're going to keep doing more of that. Or maybe I've sold you on using Google Ads, or you're doing SEO, or whatever it is. Get that plan down. After that, find your partner. Is it going to be a sales partner? Is it going to be a marketing partner? Whatever it is, find the person that you need in your business so that you both can make more money together than you ever would separately. You do what you're good at and they do what they're good at, which should be, they should be doing it better than you are. Once you get that person down, you're going to structure your partnership using all the percentages that we listed earlier so that you know, so that you have a win-win for both of you. And then after that, if you decide to use Google Ads, you can follow our 1-hour deals 100K roadmap program here, and then you can scale up your budget, go into new markets so that you can set yourself up to be successful financially for the rest of your life. So this is Dwayne here. He's on Bigger Pockets, shouting us out, giving us love all the time. So really appreciate him. In his first 3 months, he made over $65,000 using our program. And then we have Laden as well. He made over $100,000 in his first 6 months using our program. And now he's scaling into his third market, man. We're really happy for him. And he is on top of the leads, let me tell you. So these are just a few of the people, different markets all across the country, right? All of them are netting, again, not gross. We're talking about net 6 figures, okay? This works anywhere in the country, okay? Don't take it from me. Hear it from Miles here.
If you're serious about this business and this is what you want to do and you're committed to it, you have to try. We have tried everything. Some things work in our market, some things don't. If you sit on the sideline like I did for 2 dumb years and didn't get in, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially did I lose because I wasn't willing to give it a shot?
Don't be like Miles. Don't lose this opportunity right now.
If you're serious.
Okay. So this, as you know, the REI landscape is changing, but are you changing along with it? In this hot sellers market, investors are becoming very desperate for deals. It gets harder and harder and more competitive to find deals. On top of that, we have regulations. The realtors are getting stretched thin, and they're trying to outlaw wholesaling. And places like Pennsylvania and Illinois, there's laws now that have been passed already that make wholesaling a lot harder, maybe almost impossible for some people. These iBuyers like OfferPad, Opendoor, Zillow recently, even though they've stopped doing it in the last couple of months. They are taking over, and their business model is disrupting ours. They have a very good value proposition for homeowners out there. How are you going to compete with them? PropStream, just in the last few weeks, got rid of their sold data on their site. Okay, it's harder to comp properties. It's harder to get the information that you need. But virtual wholesaling, flipping investing is easier now than ever before because of the pandemic. This is a Zoom world, right? Everybody is virtual. It's completely accepted nowadays. Virtual investing has been around a long time, but it is now easier than ever. There's more software like InvestorLift coming out. If you haven't seen InvestorLift, check it out. It's a great disposition software. And there's other softwares that have come out and I'm sure will be coming out to help you do virtual wholesaling. So, Christian here. He owns Call to Direct Solutions. I've had him on my podcast. He's a great guy. He's a 7-figure wholesaler as well. He did a survey with his group, and they determined that pay-per-click was the #1 avenue people were getting deals right now, okay? He says, long gone are the days of uploading a cold calling list of 1,000 names and killing it. We need to make sure that we are better, that we're attacking high-ticket leads, high-quality leads, and that we're closing deals and standing out, basically. So don't just let the industry change. Let's change it together to serve us. Okay, no more high agency fees destroying your ROI. No more agency hopping. No more investors blowing money and quitting too soon. Google Ads can be successful for people on any budget, all budgets. You can be successful and you can have the time you want. And ultimately, let's set the industry up so that we can have our most powerful day, month, and life. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me in this free, crazy course here. I hope you got something out of it. Just as a free gift for you for spending the time with me, I'm going to give you this 287 book, it's probably like 300 now, book list of all the books I've compiled over the last 15 years of my life. And I categorize them by category. So no matter what you want to focus on in your life right now, I have the best books in the industry and the industry leaders here you can pick and choose from. So it's helped me and guided me with my own personal development and adopting my own CEO mindset. Of course, we'll give you this entire slide deck that you can use and share with anybody that you want. And finally, if you fill out the survey that we have, please, we'll give you a chance to get a free one-on-one business session. We can talk any marketing, business, personal, whatever you want to do, free consulting session. I'm here to help you as well. Thank you guys for checking out this free course here. I hope you got some value out of it. Enjoy the free gifts, all right? If nothing else, I hope you learned that you really can have a life where you get the income that you want and work when you want, how you want, and have your business serve you. So if you're interested, check out the 1-Hour Deals program below. You can schedule a call directly on my calendar. I would love to chat with you about it. There's more information below as well. And just remember, you can change your life in just 1 hour a month. Love you guys. Peace.